Hey guys, we're back.
Hello everyone.
Today, as you can see, I'm not here with Yarek. Yarek split. He went off home to play another game. Today, I'm here with Lucky.
Hey.
He's our designer, and today we'll be talking about weapons and damage and stuff like that. So, let's start real quick and hardcore.
Go on.
So, if you were to tell me how are you doing, what you're doing.
Yeah, basically what we have here is a little test scene I made for testing and balancing purposes. It's very artificial. It's not the game itself because, the targets are not moving. They are static. But I can do what I really need to. So I can see what damage I do to different targets. That means different vests, different protection. And there are a few things going on here. First thing, if you shoot just randomly into the air, please. In the top right corner, you can see a number. That's a bullet speed.
They can't because we're there. But
Oh, we're there.
There is.
Okay, so there is a number. It's a bullet speed, which affects the damage, so it helps me know what exactly how the bullet behaves when fired from each weapon. And then we have three guys. As I said, the left one has no protection whatsoever. So if you shoot him to the body, please, you can do it. Awesome. The big black screen tells me the state of various hit zones we have on the body. So here I can see in the lower corner that hit body received like 73, 74 damage. It can be understood as percentage basically, because if hit body is 1, the character dies.
Alright, so I can kill him?
Poor guy, go ahead.
What? I missed!
Good.
I missed! What? Cool. So
Nice shot.
Now he's dead.
Yeah, so to remind you, it was approximately 73. And now if we tried this medium vest.
So this is a medium guy,
yes,
right?
this is medium.
Alright, so now?
Now the damage drops to 46. So you needed 2 bullets. Well, you needed more because, well...
Yeah, because I missed.
But you needed to hit to actually kill the guy with what we have here is Katiba, 6.5 millimeters. A relatively lower caliber, weaker gun. Just 2 bullets to kill the guy. Now you will probably need 3.
Yeah. See, it works.
Awesome.
You did a good job. So this one is with the heavy vest.
This is
right?
heavy vest. Yeah, this is the strongest one.
So it dropped to 36.
Yes.
So I need 4. Basically.
4. It should be 4.
3, 4, 2, 3. And he's dead.
3 is enough.
Right.
36. Yeah, it's alright.
Okay.
So.
And what if I were to change this? What am I supposed to do?
Yeah. You basically know how
No worries.
the damage is calculated. So so changing this is just a matter of changing something in configuration files. So what I would do is to open the configuration files of the ammunition and change the hit value, which would directly affect damage. If I needed to change it more significantly, for example, as we found out during the first week, the vests were a bit too strong.
Yeah.
That means I need to do something else. I need to change vests values and then test how it affects basically all the weapons, which is doable thanks to this mission.
Alright.
That's it.
So, and hit to the knee. So he took a bullet in the knee. What does that do?
It does damage to legs. The damage is relatively small for various reasons. We will get into that a bit later. And if you keep shooting, you will eventually destroy it right now. As you can see, the damage into legs is 1, but the guy is still alive.
Yeah, because the overall damage is...
Yeah, we want the soldiers to die when the body or head takes really, bad beating, is damage to 1. But it shouldn't be the case with arms and legs. So instead, the damage translates to so-called total damage. And once that total damage reaches 1, the character dies.
Alright.
So eventually you can kill a guy just shooting his legs, no problem. But it will take considerably more bullets.
Okay, okay, fine. So now I'm gonna switch to the game. So
we will actually try to practice your aiming skills a bit more.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. But before all this,
Yeah.
what needs to be done?
That was a lot of fun. Like, truly. Because Arma 3 damage model, which we used at the beginning, is quite complex. We have 11 different hit zones or so-called hit points on the characters in Arma.
Yep.
Then we have, I think, 6 different levels of protection granted by vests.
Yeah.
Then we have different amount of protection depending on which uniform you use. And yeah.
Sounds like a lot of things.
And then we have
There's more.
something like 50 weapons.
All right.
So as you can see, that's a lot of stuff which has to be tweaked in order to get, damage where we want it to be. In Arma 3, this very complex, very complicated model works awesomely. I really like it because it's authentic. It's as close to reality as we can get within the game. And, the simulation of the bullets is quite complicated, and it's very unique thing we do, and I love it.
Okay.
However, it wasn't really suitable for Argo. The gameplay is faster, so we needed something more simple, more streamlined, and more reliable. So
we're ready now to
Okay.
go back into the game. The game is loaded. We already see our guys. So today we're playing with my friends from the Nix, which is a discussion server in Czech Republic. We asked them to help us, so they are playing with us today. So we aim for the team. Yay! So now we're going to play raid. And can you tell me something about the damage we've been struggling with in raid? Because everything is much shorter.
yeah, in shorter distances, there is a couple of things to consider. For example, the bullet can actually penetrate the body and fly through.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I try it? Can I try it? Where can I try it?
It shouldn't happen in Argo, it shouldn't happen as much as it's possible in Arma. The reason why we don't want it to happen a lot is that,
Oh, that's normal,
Yep.
Okay.
The reason is that the complex Arma damage model actually calculates with the bullet energy. If the bullet flies into the body and stays there, it means that all that energy was spent somewhere in the body, so the damage is higher. When the bullet flies through, that means that it retained some of its energy and the damage is lower. So in Arma, it's usually not the case if you're fighting 100, 200, even more meters. It's not really happening. But now, if you shoot the guy 10 meters, it can happen. So this had to be tweaked as well. So there are some tools how we can tell the bullet to not to do that.
Okay, so the guys they just noticed that your head is actually green.
Yeah, it is. So
it's
I
picked up
can.
by a green screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, my head is. We had this Saint Nicholas festivities 2 days ago, so I decided to wear this, a little devil hat, and he's
And
got
I'm wearing a devil hat as well.
a different devil hat. Yeah.
Yep.
So we're basically the same, but in a
Good.
different game. All right. So Uh, considering the ranges, you know, balancing weapons for short range combat and for clash, which is kinda bigger. How was it? How was the
Um,
process?
the good thing is that distance affects the damage somewhat because the bullet loses some speed, and that decreases. There is some formula for that, decreases damage. The drop in the damage, however, is not that significant. So, like those penetration problems were actually a bit higher than the damage drop. The damage is quite reliable. If we're speaking about Argo, when we have kills, on 5 meters, and we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
some in like 100 and up to, let's say, 200. It seems as a big difference, but in terms of damage, it's not that significant. So, of course, if you're
Our
shooting
gyro's gone.
far away target, you can come to the situation that you need a bit more bullets to kill the guy, but in terms of damage, it's not a big issue.
All right.
The-
And
Hmm?
sorry, I
No worries.
just you reminded me of that we turned off the no, not turned off, but we tweaked the bullet penetration. So do you think we will go back to the full penetration we had, or is it the problem, or
No, it was a huge problem because of the terrain, because of the walls, like these concrete walls. It was kind of possible to shoot through them, and a lot of games in our internal testing, you can remember that,
yeah?
revolved around just shooting through the wall a lot, and it was not a strategy we want to emphasize. Argo is not about blindly shooting through a wall. It's about tactical approach, choosing your positioning
Yeah.
properly. So that's why we changed the penetration model ever so slightly to prevent that kind of behavior. But the most significant change,
What?
that was a nice shot.
Not again.
The most significant change was to reduce the number of hit points and to simplify the protection model. There were like two most significant changes from the Arma 3 damage model.
Yeah.
Because that way it's much more reliable.
The airdrop
Uh,
is here. Keep an eye on
We
it.
really can tweak the damage, and in reality, in the games, we know that the damage behaves as we are expecting. Like when I showed you that the Katiba did like 73 damage, our statistics actually show that the average damage on this distance from the actual games, the people played,
Yeah.
is 73.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. It really works. So
Yeah.
we were able to get some reliable results from the damage model.
What the
Thanks
heck
to
is he doing, dude? Are you watching this?
yeah.
He's like, 500 kilometers away from the. Well, okay, maybe it's their
it-
way.
It's a fire support, or maybe
rough.
just support because he's not
Okay.
firing. So just support maybe.
What is he doing? Okay, we have a first question that I picked up here. What
Shoot.
does Argo stands for? Well, that's more question for me. It doesn't stand for
It
anything.
actually is.
It's just the name of the module that crashed down, and we are fighting over it. So it doesn't stand for anything. It's not an abbreviation or something. Anyhow, we will get to our questions that we have prepared here. Of course, you can ask questions in the comments on the Twitch. We're waiting for them, but we have some prepared here. What?
The game chat.
What is there?
The guys apparently are listening to the stream. Hey guys.
Hey guys. So, will we see guns with iron sights only?
Yes, we actually did last week. That's really something we want to try because it might happen. And we have some guns with really nice iron sights. I personally love the Type 115. that is awesome. Like the iron sights are great. So when I was creating, the loadout, I didn't really want to include any any optics into that because it was just like
Yeah.
I liked it that way. So yeah.
Yeah. So now we're going to play Clash, so we'll see some different weapons.
Oh.
Well, not weapons, but I mean engagements. So the hipfire should have some penalty over range. Are you planning to do something with it?
Yeah, I think that there's been some kind of discussion recently about that like shooting during movement is a viable tactic. We are aware of it. We aren't really excited about that to be, go-to strategy in gunfights in Argo. So we have some ways to improve that. We have been testing some solutions internally, and I think personally that we have come to some sort of good solution which should improve the gameplay a lot. It will make it much more difficult to shoot and hit something while moving, and I think we will be like able to get it working in upcoming weeks. It's not really it's a really big change in some ways, so it's not something we can do overnight, but we are looking into that.
Yeah, but important note, it's not going to be in the Christmas update.
Yes,
Move it,
it's
guys,
not
we
going
got
to be
one
there.
the point.
Next week, and it's gonna stay for a while. And I think we already talked about this last time, but the Christmas update will have all the locations we've so far released, so you can play on all the locations, and I think we will keep it for about 4 weeks there, something
Likely.
like that, till January. So next question. Both in Arma and Project Argo, MG seems unbalanced. So, well, are they? What do you think? You're the master,
Yeah, sure. With the machine guns, there is this problem. The bullets they fire are basically the same as similar assault rifles, but the magazine size is much bigger. So it's very convenient to use machine guns for in a lot of situations. However, we would like to see machine guns in more of a support role to, pin down the enemy or to cover your teammates who are passing through an open area. And we can do that. In today's update, there are two small, I would say really small changes, but the machine guns have been made a bit less accurate. The change is not significant. It will not break your game, guys. But it's a first step in tweaking the machine guns into a.
Did you see the capture?
Did you like expect to survive that? Or
No, but
no, that's the right answer actually.
All right. So sorry.
So yeah, machine guns. We are aware of it. We are tweaking it, and I must say that I'm very thankful for all the feedback we have received so far, because it's helping us. Because we have some limited time to play the game. We cannot play hundreds of games per week, but you guys actually do that, and all that helps us a lot.
Yeah, it does. What? No. No. Okay, next question.
Okay. Your team is blaming
Yeah,
you
I know, I know.
for
I lost the round.
I think that we are at the point it can be called like intentional feeding.
I'm sorry. All right, AK.
But it's okay. You are on the different account, so it can be banned.
Yeah.
And you can
It's actually Toki's account, and she's with us here as always, and I'm really glad that she's here and doing all the stuff on the Twitch channel. So yay for Toki again.
Yay.
And next question. AK with 40mm grenade seems fine, but suicide range needs to be increased to avoid noob tubing.
Noob tubing, I love
What
it. It's well, yeah, you haven't heard about noob tube.
Noob tube?
Noob tube. It's not a new version of YouTube.
No, it
Even
won't.
though there is some correlation between you and Noob, considering your KD ratio in this game.
No, get out of here.
Yeah, well, Noob tubing. You know, the grenades in general are the most difficult thing to balance in Argo, and it will take a while to do so. We will get there. But you know, when we showed at the beginning the how the hit points work. Sorry.
Yeah, important question. We will get there. How will we get there? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you've been talking about players are playing many games. We're having some data. What now? What's the next step?
We can analyze the data, so we can know how many people are using grenade launchers, how they using, what distances the grenades are effective, and when people actually use them, because some people usually run and just shoot all three grenades blindly to the distance, which usually will do absolutely nothing. And some people save the grenades, use them in close quarter where they can be super effective, because there is
I get shot from the back. It doesn't really matter. I have no sound. What do you expect?
um
Continue,
okay.
continue. Never mind. Continue.
So where was I? Yeah, grenade launchers and the close quarter combat. Yeah.
Yes.
The thing with explosive is the range of the explosion,
Yep.
because it will hit multiple parts of player's body, which will do significant damage. And tweaking that damage with the model we have is a bit tricky. I cannot simple tell the game if the grenade explodes in this area and player is 5 meters away, do 60 points of damage.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, because it's the cost of having this kind of realism in the damage model. So it's just more difficult, and it takes more time that it would in the artificial damage model.
Yeah.
So by looking into the data, by testing it ourselves, we can tweak the damage value and the area of effect of the grenades to make it, reasonable. So I hope
There.
this answers the question.
They're attacking the base. Yes, it answers the question perfectly.
You've already lost the base almost.
No, I didn't. My team did. So, how do you plan to compensate for the overpowered CQB
Yeah,
aspect?
that's
You've already kind of touched that. Supply drop capture. Big issue, apparently. We didn't think so, but it is. So, supply drop captures, yeah. I think, I saw some feedback about supply drops being inefficient in Link. I thought they are more inefficient in Raid, but okay. So, what can you tell me about that?
um
Do you have any ideas?
yeah, the thing with the airdrop is that it creates a gameplay additional, gameplay objective. And sometimes you really want to get that airdrop. You are attacking on Clash, you are the last one alive, you want to get that get those respawns. They are super powerful. At the same time, if you're defending and you are like 2 guys remaining and you know that there is airdrop available for the enemy team and there is 1 or 2 guys alive from the enemy team, you really feel the pressure to deny the drop from them. You don't really need that round time reduction, but you really have to deny those respawns. And I think that this kind of motivation, I personally really like it. And in our playtests, the pressure of getting the airdrop just for the sake of enemy not getting it, I think that it's really good gameplay dynamic. So from my point of view, the bonuses of the airdrop doesn't necessarily have to be balanced.
Yeah.
But still, the airdrop serves its purpose. That means create additional objective. So that's basically.
Yeah. Another question from the stream. So let me quickly do this. So I see that there are up for uniforms from Arma in this new patch. Up for clothing is armored, but NATO clothing is not. So is the armored remove in Argo for balance? That's a question for you, actually.
Yeah, and thank you very much for the question. That's a great one. Arma players might know that uniforms in Arma are not the same. NATO soldiers have basic uniforms and they use plate carrier vests for protection. CSAT, the opposing force in Arma, they don't have, powerful plate carrier vests. They have this bandoliers or chest rigs with no protection whatsoever,
Yep.
or just minimal one. So to compensate that, their uniforms are sturdier, armored, and provide more protection than NATO ones. And yes, we have removed this in Argo. In Argo, every uniform is the same. That allows us to make you pick, eventually, not now, but eventually we would like you to pick how you look like.
But it's good that you touched that. Talk about that.
Okay,
You know.
so to feel in like linked to the character you play as in the game is important. So right now we have some generic loadouts which help us to test weapons, but eventually there will be customization. So you will pick how you look like, what you wear, how you want to present yourself on the battlefield, and to allow you to do that, we want those choices like not having impact on the gameplay, which would be the case if we told you this uniform is stronger than this one, you probably would be forced to use the stronger one.
Yep.
And that's not what we want to do. It's like, do you like this, T-shirt with these trousers? That's a nice uniform. Pick it, and you are not hindering your combat capabilities in any way.
And when this is going to be out?
Soon TM.
No. No, we actually know it, so you can tell it.
I can tell it.
Yeah, you can tell it.
You can tell it.
Yeah, you can tell it.
I know it.
Yeah, you know it. It's next week in the Christmas update.
Yeah. So.
So there will be a customization. We call it apparel. It will be in the main menu. You can access it. You can save it, and stuff like that. And we think it's a really nice addition. It's actually the first step of our so-called metagame, because it will be in the, let's say, similar menu. So you can check our UI and UX and everything and tell us what you think, because we've been working for what was it, half a year right now on it,
Maybe.
something like that. So we'll see, and we're excited about it. So as you can see, the Christmas update will offer a lot of new things.
Maybe we can mention, well, like headgear as well.
Yes, and what is there? So it's uniforms, headgear,
Uniform,
and face wear.
headgears, face wear, yes.
And face wear is something what we call in Arma, the glasses and scarves. No, not
Well,
scarves.
bandanas.
Yeah, bandanas and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
and I think even some balaclavas.
Yeah, balaclavas and stuff like that. So going back to the questions.
Okay.
Sitting stance. Oh, that's a funny one. You can go with it. If you want me to, I can answer this one.
Yeah, basically the question is that the sitting stance, one of the advanced stances, seems out of place, and the guy who asked the question thinks that it wouldn't be missed if it was removed, because the only thing you notice with it is severely reduced stray speed.
See, I'm moving.
Yeah, and there are some situations we are glad that you don't use third-person view, but no, I actually like it. It's quite funny, and it gets you killed. So working as intended, I would say. But to get to the question, I personally was really thinking about removing advanced stances.
Yeah.
But at the end, we've decided not to do that because you absolutely do not have to use advanced stances. Maybe you are used to some like more mainstream or more simple shooters that don't have that many stances because it's a lot of them, and you are not really like punished for not using them. But I think that many people come to Argo from Arma, and they use those stances just all the time, and it's like it's very natural for them to use them, and I think that if we remove them, it would somehow like hinder the experience of Arma players,
Hmm.
and there are many situations where those advanced stances are useful, so it's like an optional additional layer of controls that you can, but you don't have to use. Yeah.
Yeah, I personally like it because I use it. Well, not as I used it, but
Well,
I
a bit
used.
suboptimally, let's say.
No, but anyway, I wanted to tell the guys what's the sitting stands for. Sometimes, if you're lying down, you can't see over the obstacle. So if you sit, you're slightly higher.
There's one thing I noticed on one of the streams, and I love it, and I will spoil it for everyone now, because there is a beautiful tactics for Link
Yeah.
when there already have been several fights around main, so there are dead bodies there, and you just run on the main, make sure the enemy team doesn't notice you,
Yeah.
just lay down and do that lowest stance
Yeah.
where you're lying like that, and just play that. Don't move, don't do anything, capture the point. It's when I saw it on the stream, I jumped out. It was awesome. I really liked it.
So we apparently lost the clash.
Um,
Oh, Link. Cool. I'm gonna try that.
but the guys are watching the streams. So I think that
No.
it won't be very effective.
Yeah, anyway, so the adjusted stances is another layer that you can use. You don't have to. We thought about removing it, but we don't think it's hindering anything, so we'll just leave it there for now. So the next question from the stream, one stance that needs to be completely removed is the lower weapon stance. This is actually a thing that it should not be there.
It
How?
can be there.
How? Yeah, it. Oh, so there are some situations that
There,
it might
there,
happen.
yeah, it might happen. You know,
Yes.
as far as I'm concerned, we don't really mind those situations. It's not happening like that often. But
I remember that we were talking about this, and we tried to remove it, but it was not easily possible. So we decided to not go with it. So for now, yes, it needs to be removed. I agree, because it sometimes I remember now what is happening, and but it's not easily removed, and we will try. We are trying all the time, but we will try again. Anyway, what? I'm sorry, I'm lost. Will
well,
there be a possibility to choose attachments? Yes, but not until the metagame is out. Which is
so not in the next week's update.
Yes. And there, I remember there was one question: if the metagame is early 2017, when the leaderboards will be out. So the leaderboards were originally planned to be out pretty soon,
Shoot him.
but due to some technical complications, we decided not to go with them, and we wanna prepare everything for the January. So on January it should be fine, and we're gonna launch the official leaderboards. Even for the prototype, we will test it out, and then we'll see. There was another a question I remember. I'm sorry, I'm just remembering some of the questions I wanted to answer.
Great.
One of them was if we will be holding a community-hosted tournament even in the prototype. I can say that we plan to do something like that. I can't confirm it because it's in the process and everything, but we would like to, definitely. And that's about it.
Yeah,
So
I'm personally very excited to see Project Argo played like competitively. Oh,
yeah, there's another question.
okay.
Will there be a competitive matchmaking like in other games? If you mean making a party and then going onto the server, unfortunately, there is not going to be that. There will be some, let's say, quick join. Hopefully, that will list for you the servers with the same skilled players or something like that when the meta game is out. So, but that's too early to talk about it. And but unfortunately, the party can't be done because we're limited in time, in Arma code and everything. It's not so easy.
Yep.
So, to confirm, we're not happy about it, but that's just the way how it is. Ranks. Yes, there will be ranks. Ranks and something like that. Any more questions from the stream? If not, I have something more prepared here. Caliber doesn't have a linear. Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So
can
go
you read
ahead
it
and
out?
play. Yeah. There was some concern about AK-12 and it will affect the AKM here as well. The question is, caliber doesn't have a linear relation to lethality of the round. 7.62 39 millimeter has less than half the energy of 7.62 54, which has the exact same caliber but is totally different round. Yes, exactly. To translate the question and make it a bit more understandable, it's basically about realizing that if you consider the power of the weapon, you need to understand the calibers and then the actual bullets as well. And that also in short means that we will be tweaking damage of AK-12 and AK-AIM. M.
Not aim.
Because my pronunciation is not very good, you know.
What is metagame? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we answered this before, but let's repeat that. So metagame is for us something that you can, let's say, earn some points and some experience points, level up, have some skill level, let's say, and unlock weapons and stuff like that. But I'm not going to talk about it too much.
We can just summarize it as some sort of player progression,
Yeah.
Which is persistent and outside of the actual match.
Yeah, but I wanted to mention
Yeah,
some
sure.
of the features. So we're still doing it. So this is what we call metagame. I'm sorry about that. So there will be some unlocking and stuff like that. Hopefully. What next? Weapon choices within classes. Oh.
Yeah. When we go through the feedback, which we do a lot, basically everything that that we.
She's leaving. You know, our.
Bye bye.
Toki is leaving the room.
Okay. She will be back. Hopefully.
No, don't know.
Okay. So about the classes, when we go through the feedback, there was a lot of discussion about like class stacking being a problem, meaning you get a team of 5 snipers who actually cannot snipe, which is a problem. And there is some sort of problem with, about the balance of the classes. However, I would like to explain what we are actually trying to do here with the classes. Yeah. The thing that we presented some sort of loadouts at this point is because we don't have the metagame yet, and we want to test various weapons. And
one by one, that's important.
Basically, one by one, we eventually go through all of them. and it's really helpful for us, and I hope it's enjoyable for you guys to try different weapons for different strategies. However, not everyone is a veteran Arma player, and not everyone knows, all the names. We have that, like, I don't know what is MK14. If I haven't played Arma, I have no idea what it actually is. So that's why we came up with the idea of.
Don't do that.
It's it was nice.
We have a dancing scene in the background.
5 out of 9 or something like that.
Toki's back.
So yeah, so we have come up with the idea of the classes, which basically means that you don't have to understand what exactly is the weapon in the loadout, but just by the name of the class, you can have a general idea what the gameplay is going to be like. So if you are a marksman, you can expect that you should be, in a distance and basically sniping opponents from afar. If you are a machine gunner, you can safely presume that you will be given a machine gun. That's very obvious, isn't it?
What is?
You are not listening to
I
me.
wasn't. Right now I wasn't.
Well, I'm trying. Okay, you should know that. Okay. Do not really be concerned, please, about the classes. They are there to help you to pick the loadout that will be suitable for your play style.
And to help us with the analytics. Because if
that's
if
true.
we would to put every weapon in the game, I think it would one thing, it would end up to be used only one weapon, and
yeah, you are talking about why we basically opted for having just 5 loadouts per run or per mission.
Yeah, that's the thing. So
yeah, as I said, we have 50 weapons, so it would be overwhelming to have all of them listed there.
Yeah, so that's that.
Yep.
Any more questions? Yeah, that's a Timo hat. It is.
That's a devil hat.
Yeah, little devil hat.
Little devil hat. Yep.
So there, that were the loadouts. All right. Now I actually remembered that we wanted to talk about something else, and that is, do you remember how we were balancing the sniper weapons because of Jan and Def? Actually.
There was a point when I wasn't sure if I am balancing the weapons or I'm balancing the players. Honestly, because it was, every playtest was you spawned, you did basically a small jog towards the target area, and you got killed like this.
Yeah.
And so we.
Do you want to play? So you can be embarrassed with me.
I think you're doing well, Kappa.
All right.
Okay. So balancing sniper weapons was a big deal because you need to have those marksman weapons to be powerful. If you have a big caliber badass rifle, you expect one-shot guy, and it's mostly possible, but we opted for making it more difficult for you to hit. So if you aim down the sights, if you're using stronger optics, we are.
I don't understand.
They are great in outflanking. In scopes, we simulate the breadth of the player character. So you have that small movement, which makes it a bit more difficult for you to
like this one.
Like this one, but it's not that pronounced in this kind of optics. It's stronger in stronger scopes, and it helps with. It doesn't help. It actually helps with the others to escape your aiming skills. However, you can counter that movement by holding breath, which by default is done by holding your right mouse button.
Actually, we said it before in one of the streams, but we can repeat it. What about the Arma zoom?
Yeah, you mean focus. That's all right.
Arma
No, no, no. I'm glad you called it this way because most people do that. Arma zoom, or properly focus, is a feature we removed a long time ago. It makes sense in Arma, where you need to engage enemies in longer distances. You can of course use optics for that, or scopes. However, having the focus helps you with getting information before you find the position to use the scope and kill someone. However, as you can see, or as you experience yourselves, the engage distances in Argo are much lower. So focus was, I will say it simply, was OP. It was too strong. They are cute.
They are.
It was too strong, and that's some sort of feature that basically hindered the gameplay. It wasn't a lot of fun. Basically, the players get too much information with using focus. So we removed that. You still can get some sort of focus with optics, or just aiming down iron sights. It works as well.
Yeah, there's a slight zoom.
Yeah.
To be. So we wanted to have it more. How is it called? More obvious that it's there, because when we were using it, you could basically snipe out people from long distances
Just
without
using your
scope.
cross,
Yeah, without
just using crosshair, and that was not good.
That was completely out of space. Aren't you scared? What?
They
What's
are
going on there on the Twitch channel?
they are stream sniping you.
Yeah, I know.
It's very popular nowadays.
Cool.
Game tips.
So anyway, just accepting the challenge. Is that a challenge?
What is a challenge?
Where's the challenge? Somebody wants to challenge us? We will put death on it.
Yeah, he will
Move you.
he will volunteer.
Yeah, he will be volunteered.
He will be volunteered. Yes, that's
for
the
that
right
task. Well, anyway, if you want, you can tell me something more about other stuff you've been working on. For example, you can mention some of the metagame if you want.
Some of.
Yeah, some of. Like, for example.
Yeah. Tell me what I can speak
No,
about.
you can speak about what you want, but anyway. So we've talked about unlocking weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you plan on balancing the unlocking? You know, if there'll be. Can I unlock everything?
You can't.
Okay. So that's good.
To elaborate, there was actually one concern. I read a feedback that someone was really concerned about unlocking because the guy was afraid of, player with a lot of unlocked stuff, basically, owning noobs, which is not supposed to be the case. We would like to avoid that. That's one thing. So do not be afraid. And the other thing, unlocking everything, no. The metagame is not, obviously, it's not finished yet. We are still working on it. But one thing that is certain, you cannot unlock everything. You need to make choices. And some of those choices are supposed to be difficult.
Yeah. So that's what we wanted. So that's what I wanted to mention. Another hint about the metagame. We're not going to talk about it more, because then you would be overhyped, hopefully. Anyway, no more questions. Guys, we need questions.
There is one thing we can talk about a little bit.
Remove that crosshair.
Yes, remove that crosshair, lol.
Yeah, it will. So yeah, what is planned is the so-called hardcore mode, but not the hardcore mode like you know it from other games. So there won't be a different damage. We've talked about this shortly with Yarek in the previous stream.
Mhm.
So what I wanted to actually achieve in our game is that even when you're playing on, let's say, normal mode and on hardcore mode, the damage is the same, so you're playing the same game. What will change is the amount of UI, the amount of helpers, the crosshair and stuff like that. So it's going to be a bit harder, a bit more maybe confusing at start, but what is important, why we are not releasing the hardcore mode yet, it's because you all are still learning the maps, and it would be really confusing and really hard because the so-called hardcore mode requires you to know the map by heart, because there will be no helpers, no signs, nothing.
No, nothing.
Yeah, well, nothing.
Maybe it can be mentioned about the crosshair that
What? What? Continue. Sorry.
honestly, like if I remove the crosshair, what it does is that it's really difficult to aim, just like this. So you have to use at least the iron sights.
Yep.
Which changes the engagements in a way that I personally don't like as much. I understand that some people find it interesting, so that's why we are playing the hardcore mode.
Mhm.
But my biggest concern about removing the crosshair is that there is no single reason why not to put a dot in the middle of your monitor
Yeah.
and simulate the crosshair that way.
And so, are you going to keep the crosshair all the time, hipfire OP? That's why we were talking about doing some changes to the crosshair, so you would be penalized by movements somehow and stuff like that. We're currently working on that. What is happening?
I'm just moving your mouse.
Why?
Why not?
Okay.
We still got no data.
Yeah,
So
he-
it's not going to be there all the time, and if it's going to be there, it's going to be different because we're aware of the hipfire OP. So right now it's just a run and gun.
Yeah.
It is simple
yeah.
as that. I admit it. But
So
why not?
We understand that one of the reasons why hipfire is so OP is the cursor, and the cursor relates to how the weapon behaves. So we want to change both of those things. The weapon is not supposed to be that precise if you move, and the crosshair will reflect that, basically.
All right.
Um,
Any more questions? No idea removing? I'll just put a marker on my screen.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I mentioned, because there's no reason why you shouldn't. So removing the cursor doesn't really solve anything by itself. So
Yeah, I
we are looking to more like elaborate ways. So
Yeah, I
how to
remember
fix
the
that.
time we were doing this in CS.
Yeah, everyone was doing that, I believe. So
We did that. It was a lot of fun.
cross the lines, cross the lines.
No, don't cross the lines.
No,
Yeah,
no,
this
guys.
is one of the issues that we've talked about it before yet again, but I'm gonna mention it.
Yeah, please do.
Because these lines should not be crossed by defenders, because it says that you will be shot, but it doesn't mean that you will be shot by another player. You will be shot by the game,
Drop is here. Keep an eye on
because
it.
the reason why it's there is if we allow defenders to go outside of the so-called compound, it would be there would be nothing to stop them to run towards the attackers and kill them on their spawn. So this is one way of somehow artificially balance the gameplay. Another thing is that the idea behind raid is that the enemy is not expecting us to be there. So uh, we're gonna we surprise them, and now we're attacking. So the attackers are in the advantage of surprise. The defenders can't leave the compound. Easy as that.
Yep.
What
makes sense.
about billet inaccuracy while unscoped?
Yeah, we are talking about it a bit, but there's no harm in repeating some of the stuff.
Yeah.
It's not
Definitely.
really about the difference of accuracy while being scoped or unscoped. Being scoped is supposed to help you as a player to hit something. Uh, the problem, as we identified it as so far, is accuracy while moving, and that's what we aim to tweak. In short, the change is complex. It shall be ready very early next year, so it will not make its way into the next week update. And the change, the basics are to make weapons less accurate while you're moving. There's a guy behind.
Yeah, I know, but wait, I'm reading the question. I'm doing
That's
everything.
why I'm helping.
Are you going to make smoke grenades better? Yes, we've talked about it today. We're looking at it. The smokes are somewhat not unusable, but not ideal. So we want to make them better. We killed each other. Why take weakest part of Arma close quarters combat and make it a standalone game? This is not what was the idea behind Project Argo. The idea is to have a competitive game, 5 versus 5. It's a way for us to learn about the competitive multiplayer game design, about the level design on a huge map and stuff like that. So. And also, I personally don't consider it as the weakest part of Arma,
The airdrop is here.
because
Keep an eye on it.
it's really subjective. If you get into the game more, I think you will enjoy it. Smokes pass through walls. Yes, they do. Unfortunately. There's nothing I can tell you about that. Then yes, they do.
Hashtag just Arma things.
Yeah, Arma things. What about GPS and minimap? GPS is currently in the game. You can. I'm not sure if in spectator we can't, but then we can turn it on. And minimap. We don't want minimap. We don't want to clutter the UI with
Like even
everything
more,
on
yes.
the screen. So you actually need to have some awareness of where your friends are and stuff like that. And also we want you, because the maps are not so big, we want you to learn them. And we definitely don't want you to play the minimap, because that's what I see in other games. I'm doing it as well. If there's a minimap, I'm playing the minimap. I'm going and I see the minimap, it's there, yeah, I'm there, and then I'm dead.
And honestly, it's relatively easy to navigate even in larger areas. Yeah, this is the minimap.
No, it's the GPS.
The GPS. It's supposed to help you. Like I'm using it, for example, on Clash, just to get a general awareness about where are the points. But I found out that I rarely look onto that, and I am known to get lost in a circular room. So I think that you don't really need that kind of help. And I personally, my opinion is that the game is more enjoyable if you focus on the environment instead of just flat minimap or GPS.
And as mentioned in the Twitch, it's right Control M. It's not very convenient, but it's there. And basically, you don't have to use it. I'm not using it. I don't think you are using it.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And Toki
is not using it.
So, basically, try to play it without the helpers. It's much better. About smoke through walls, I'm afraid there is not much we can done, as was said. Just Dharma things. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but we have some plans how to improve the smokes, so they will be basically more useful.
Last question, because we're kind of running out of time.
Time flies when you have fun.
Yes. Are you going to put any jump thing or something? As we said before, I'm going to repeat it. No, because it creates problems. You can jump into things and get killed by being in the things. So
Let's say there are
let's say
technical
there are
limitations
technical
to that.
limitations to that, and we're not going to do that.
Come on, we can do better than
Also,
this.
you can get to spots that are not intended to be.
Exactly.
So, anyway, thank you for watching the stream. I really enjoyed it today. I'm really, really hot because this is horrible to have on my head. I'm not going to do that anymore.
It's a devil's hat. It has a little hell inside.
Yeah, it has a little hell inside. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to say what's going to be next week. Next week, I'm going to have 3 people here, actually, not and once. We will
Wow.
be switching. There's going to be level designers with us, so you can join in. It's going to be the big Christmas update, and we will be talking about the locations and the level design. So, thank you guys again. Have a nice day,
Evening,
night, whatever.
night, morning, afternoon.
Yeah, everything depending on where you are. And see you next time. Bye.
See you. Bye bye.